Hey, welcome to Pocket Change. I am Candace Lott. I never know what to do with my hands while talking, so I'll keep them busy while doing laundry. Hang out with me while I ramble on about all kinds of topics and different seasons of life I've experienced. It's going to be loads of fun. Let's get to folding. Hey, happy whatever day it is in your world. Last week I was so feeling good. I was like, man, I'm gonna get all these podcasts done before we leave. Had a good schedule. And then this week happened, and it is now Thursday, which is the day that I'm supposed to be already have the podcast done. 2 podcasts done, and I have none. And my anxiety is through the roof as we get ready to go on vacation. Because if you're a mama, you know, it doesn't matter. This is not a dig at any partner. It's not a dig at Mike, anything. It's happened with Chris too. It's happened any of my girlfriends that have children, and this is just what happens. The woman ends up taking just the brunt of most of the legwork of getting ready to go on vacation. At least in the circles I know. So we leave tomorrow. Still need to finish, clearly need to do laundry. I actually had to hide laundry yesterday because our cleaning fairies came, and they're incredible, but I had to hide laundry so I'd have laundry to do so I could do my podcast. And funnily enough, they ended up re-washing a bunch of clean clothes that I left out because I was like, oh, I'll just hang those up later. So they ended up re-washing a ton of clothes. So now I have double the laundry to do. Anyhow, it is mildly stressful in my world. It'll be fine. I'm here. Again, there are people struggling to make ends meet, and I'm over here stressing about getting to go on vacation. So I hear ya. It's fine. There are bigger fish to fry in this world, but right now my anxiety is winning all of the stressors. Anyway, I wanted to talk about today because while we are going to be gone, I will officially hit my 9-month mark of having my real estate license. Officially 9 months in, and I have had several people ask, how's it going? And just curious about if you ever wanted to know what it's like to be a real estate agent, keep on listening. If you have 0 wants to know, then clearly this podcast isn't for you. Anyway, so I am 9 months in, and as of Tuesday, I officially changed brokerages. And because the one thing I have learned with real estate is, whenever you get your license, everyone does this dog and pony show, and they're like, come work here, come be under us, we have the best training, we have this, we have that, blah, blah, blah. So I interviewed, let's see, how many did I interview? I interviewed, I think, around 6 brokerages, if I remember correctly. And I picked a brokerage that was supposed to be the best for training. And then, of course, once you get into it, and you don't, it's an overused saying anymore, but you don't know what you don't know. I knew I kind of what I needed, but I didn't really know what I what to expect and what support would look like as I went to this role. So now I do, and now I know not exactly what I need, but I have a better idea of the support that is needed. So I did change brokerages to get the support that was going to be best for me. And that's one thing I've learned is real estate is a very lonely business. I mean, anything you do that is commission based, like 100% commission based, it's pretty lonely because people don't like to share how they're being productive and how they're getting wins, and it's just a very interesting thing, and it gets very lonely. I mean, I love real estate. I am very grateful I made this decision and got my license. But there have been times over the past few months that I've just felt so alone and had no guidance. So here are my little fun things. If you go, man, I want to go into real estate. And here are some of the things they don't teach you in school. Step 1. They don't teach you how to price a listing. They don't teach you. So whenever someone asks, they're like, hey, I'm ready to sell my house. And you're like, great. And then you have to start, then you actually have to, price that house and know what it looks like and know what a comp is and know how to run a comp. These are all things they don't teach you. Like the basic things you see and hear real estate agents do, they don't teach you that. Like I remember back in February, I had my very first showing and I didn't know how to open the lockbox because no one taught you. It's just one of those things, like you're just supposed to know how it goes. So I'm sitting there like an idiot, like fumbling around, trying to get my Bluetooth to work. And I mean, the app, if the other real estate agent uses the Bluetooth lockbox, I mean, it kind of walks you through it. But there are some lock boxes out there, like people just use like, old school, like locker, like you turn one way and then you turn it back and you turn it. I have opened a house. It wasn't on the house, but I've opened, like I had to open that to get into a box that had a key in it. Like it was the most creative way to find a key. And I get it, because those Supra lock boxes, those little Bluetooth lock boxes, they're expensive. They're like $125 a pop. So I get it. So yeah, no one teaches you how to open doors, like actually open the doors and not sit there like sweating and fumbling and like to make it look like you're a professional. No one teaches you, like I learned this from someone on a Facebook page, and whenever she took her clients on showings and she would be in a house by herself with them, she would open the door, let them in, and then turn around and lock the front door so no one else would be able to come and enter the home while she was in there. And I was like, that is so smart. Because that was one thing my ex-husband was like, oh, I don't want you to be a real estate agent. Like, people die doing real estate. I mean, he's not wrong. People have wandered into open houses or shown up for showings, and, there are bad people out there. But nonetheless, so I learned that tip, and I thought that was just the coolest little tip of the trade. I was like, oh my gosh, that's so smart. Like, why don't they teach you that in school? Like, safety. So there's that one. So they don't teach you that. And then the other big thing that, like right out the gate, because they do all this, do all the talking, and you go over the contracts, you go over the buyer rep agreement, you go over all of these things. But like actually filling them out, y'all, the first time I wrote an offer, it's like everything I knew fell out of my head, and I became the dumbest girl in school. I was like, wait, where did it go? So that was fun. So thankfully, I do have a girlfriend who's been in real estate for a few years now, and she looked it over for me, and she's like, okay, make sure you click this, make sure you do that. And I was like, oh, thank God, because it's a legally binding contract, so like I don't want to mess it up. Because it's one thing school did scare me real good is getting like fines and getting your license revoked. Like they scared me real good. They're like, you can have this happen, or you can have this happen. You can lose your license this way and this way. Like, whew. When you do all this work, you're like, I don't want to lose my license. I did all this work, guys. I went to school. I studied. I don't want to lose it. So, yeah, I mean, they don't go over, there's just so much that's not gone over in school. So then I had her help me write my first offer, and then I remember whenever it's like we got under contract with my first transaction, and I was like, okay, now what? Because I've been the buyer and I've been the seller of my personal homes, but knowing how to do it on the real estate end, like I knew what to expect for them, but I was like, oh my gosh, what paperwork do I have to do? So thankfully, again, my girlfriend stepped in and she was like, okay, this is what I do, bop, bop, bop. So my biggest tip for anyone who wants to get into real estate is, one, find a friend who's already in real estate and make sure she or he is good to like help you walk through it, like hold your hand, because man, it is quite intimidating whenever you get a buyer or a client and they're like, okay, I'm ready to put an offer in on this house, and they text you at like 10 o'clock at night and you're just looking at your computer screen going, huh, Siri, put in a offer letter. I mean, Siri doesn't do that for you. They do have these amazing positions though called transaction coordinators that these lovely humans do all of the paperwork side, which is phenomenal. Like they do it all for you. So I was talking to my now new team lead, and she was walking me through like some of the stuff, and she's like, oh, and we do have a transaction coordinator on staff, so she can assist you. And I was like, oh, thank you, baby Jesus. Because some of us, are great with the paperwork, and some of us are great going out and handling tricky situations and tricky clients and the face-to-face situations. I'm more of the face-to-face kind of situation kind of lady. And the paperwork is just part of the gig. So it's just like, well, I gotta learn it anyhow. So I know the paperwork side of it, but still having the ability to be like, oh good, someone else, if nothing else, like I can send it to other people and they can look it over before I send it for signatures, because I know it's going to happen. I'm sure I'm going to send something. I'm going to have to resend it because I didn't send it the right way. But it's an interesting career, I will say. And, like I was saying earlier, like I interviewed so many different brokerages and thought I had like picked the best one for me. And turns out it wasn't a great fit for me. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the brokerage I was at. It's just, it wasn't a fit for me. So that's my second or third tip for anyone who wants to be in real estate. Like, don't beat yourself up too hard if you pick a brokerage or a team or whatever, and then you get in it and realize, oh, excuse me, actually this isn't going to be the best situation for me personally. Don't be afraid to change. I will say, I did feel like I was sneaking around on the side and I was cheating on my current broker whenever I was interviewing new brokerages. So I was like, it was kind of like, I'm with the boy, but I'm in a relationship, but I'm not super happy with it. So now I'm stepping out on this relationship to find a more fulfilling one. So it felt very funny and felt very icky almost. But it's, at the end of the day, it's business. It's not personal. It took me, let's see, I'm 37. I'm still learning that. Like, I still get my feelers hurt over things that are strictly business related and should stay business related. And it's not a personal thing. Like, and it's even part of my spiel. Like, if you don't like me you don't want to use me as a real estate agent, that's fine. I mean, we're in North Texas. There's a million of us. If you don't like me, there's like 10,000 more agents behind me. You can go find that will be a better suit for you. Because I am not everyone's cup of tea, and I know that. I am loud. I am bubbly. I flail my hands a lot. I talk with my hands. I curse. So, I'm not everyone's cup of tea. 1,000%. And it's a business transaction. So, again, I should know these things, but still feel icky about it. But yeah, don't be afraid to make those changes if it's going to be for the betterment for you and your person and your family, because that's all that matters. Like, that's all that matters, is doing the best for you and your family. That's it. So let's see, what else? What else have I comically learned that real estate didn't teach you? Oh, I didn't learn. So like I talked about comps earlier. I had no idea how to even run a comp or pull a comp until I took another class on it. It wasn't even a class I needed for my license. It was just a class I needed for continuing education. I was like, oh, that's how you do it. And I was the only one in there that was like brand new. They're like, have you ever ran a comp? And I was like, no, I have no idea what I'm doing. So let's see. And like putting in an offer, they don't tell you, like, because the market changes daily, like straight up daily, especially here in North Texas. Like one day an offer that was at asking price, but gave the buyer more options when it came to or the seller more options when it came to like the lease back, things like that. Those are great. And then there's days where like, unless it's over asking price, it's not gonna work out. It's just, and then learning that other agents, they're not super responsive. Like, you'll send them an email, send them a text, questions over their property they have listed. No response back. It is maddening. Like, straight maddening. Because you're just like, okie dokie. Like, what do we, I guess you're too busy to respond to me. So that was wild. And like I'd heard, because whenever I think you start typing into Google and it's like my real estate agent and Google auto-populate won't return my phone calls. And I'm like, oh, so that's like a thing that we're known for, is being not great at following up. But if you're wanting to get in real estate and you're like, I think it looks like fun, just know that watching those TikToks that say, or those reels or wherever, that's like how much I made in a month or a year or whatever, don't look at those, because everyone's journey is so different, and it's going to be so hard, and you're going to sit there and be like, man, so-and-so just got their license and they already got a transaction and they're over there crushing it and I'm over here spinning my wheels. Anything to do with being self-employed and a 1099 or sales, it is a long game. What you do today affects what your next 6 to 9 months will look like in 6 to 9 months. So just because you don't have anyone liking and following and commenting on your post today doesn't mean in 9 months you won't have all these people liking and commenting, and because as you will hear so many people say, you're planting seeds. And I used to think that was so corny. I'm like, ick, planting seeds. But that's what it is. The more you share about it, the more you talk about it, the more you do it, the more confident you get in it. Because I haven't done very many transactions, but I'm confident as heck that I can help someone buy a house now. And each transaction is a little bit different. And so, each family, can't think of the name. Each family dynamic is different. So what their needs might be different, but I feel good about the base that I have built on helping people buy homes so far. And I know whenever I get that first residential listing, I have people that I can call on to be like, okay, what now? So it's all about the long game. And one of the best tips I had whenever I very first started was do one real estate thing a day. So whether that's read an article, read a book, take a class, have a conversation, one real estate activity a day. And that has stuck with me. And I have done one real estate activity a day since I've got my license. And I'm learning so much. It's almost overwhelming with the amount you can learn. And especially, there are some pretty creative people on TikTok and Instagram. And you just start learning so much about how other people do it and how other markets operate. Because you start following all these other real estate agents. Well, I do anyway. And you start learning about other markets and you're like, dang. Okay. Huh. And another interesting thing about Texas is we have more than one MLS, which is called Multiple Listing Service. So whenever someone's like, oh, I just listed it for sale, or it just coming soon, or whatever, you can't see if your agent only has, I have the North Texas MLS. So I can't see stuff in San Antonio. I can't see stuff in Houston. It is wild to me that Texas, I know we're big, but that's just wild to me. So yeah, we're big enough that we have to have, we're a big state, duh, but we're big enough we have our own MLS system. What? or we have multiples. So yes. So if you want to be a real estate agent or you want to know how it's going, it's hard. It's fucking hard. I've cried. I've felt disappointed and lonely and lost. But never once have I thought so far I made a mistake. It is hard, lonely, terrifying. Oh, and the other thing that they don't tell you in school is how much money it actually costs to be an active real estate agent. Because they don't go over splits. They don't go over brokerage fees in real estate school. Because everyone is different. Every brokerage is different. And every person inside of that brokerage is different. Because you can negotiate. So just because you have a 70-30 split doesn't mean the person at the same office next to you has that split. Just because you have a cap, which is how much money you have to pay into the brokerage before you get your full 100% commission. Every cap is different. It is bananas. And then you have to pay monthly to be a part of almost every brokerage. You have to pay monthly to be a part of the Realtors Association you're a part of. You have to pay monthly to be a part of the MLS. You have to, what other monthly fees do I have? All these monthly fees that just like add up like crazy. And I kid you not, I mean, it was probably close to like $400 or $500 a month just to maintain my real estate license as an active license holder. So that is one big thing they didn't talk about it in school because they couldn't, but it made me so concerned for all these people that were like, yeah, I'm going to get in there and make $1 million instantly. Because you have to pay all these dues whenever you sign up. Like you have a yearly payment to the association you're a part of. Yearly payment, like I remember in each brokerage, whenever you join on, they have like an application fee. So like I've done full transparency. I've done 2 transactions. And I had more than a 70-30 split. I had a pretty high split at my previous brokerage. And with those 2 transactions, and real estate agents don't get, like you see the percentage on MLS or Zillow or whatever, you have to split that with the other agent that's listed. So just because it says, like it might say 6% or 4% or 3% or what, again, it's all negotiable. Like it is wild. So those 2 transactions with everything I put into it, like pins, signs, business cards, chamber memberships, events, coffees, taking my exam, paying for the classes, everything, headshots, like all the stuff that you need to like market yourself, I'm still not above the red. And I am 9 months in. So that's just something to like keep in mind. If this is something you want to do, make sure you have funds to support you for, I think most of the time it says 6 months, but a year, a full year. And in a market like this, probably need a little bit more just because the market is just shifting and crazy daily. So just have funds for more than a year to like maintain your lifestyle. And then make sure like do one real estate activity a day. Just do it. I'm not a great real estate. I'm not like a top producer. Again, I have two whole transactions under my belt, but I feel incredibly confident in my skills for helping someone buy. And I feel pretty darn confident that I have the skills within me to help someone list. Just, everyone has to do it for the first time at something. So no matter what your job is, you have to do it for the first time eventually. Whether you're a stay-at-home mama or teacher, you all have a first day, first diaper change, first lesson. Anywho, so those are my tips. Those are my things. Find someone you know who's in real estate that you've been following and you respect, and if that's what you want to do, talk with them. Let them have honest conversations about finances and what it looks like to actually be a real estate agent and splits and all of that, because again, it's all so different and each brokerage has something different to offer. So that's all I got now. I hope you guys have a great day, and yay, pocket change.
Thank you for listening to Pocket Change. You can find me on the internet at Candice-Lott.com, on Instagram at Candice J. Lott, that's Lott with 2 T's, and on Facebook as Candice Lott. I look forward to meeting you. Have a great day.